Welcome back to Just Talking. We have a great show for you today. Why? Because we have one of the best events of the year coming up, and that is the one and only Holiday Folk Fair in West Dallas. So let's talk to our good friend Paul Trebian, President and CEO of the International Institute of Wisconsin. Paul, nice to see you today.
Oh, great to see you. Great to be here.
Okay, so maybe for those who don't know, what is the International Institute of Wisconsin?
Well, the International Institute of Wisconsin has been around for over 100 years. Our start was Immigration and Naturalization Services, and we still do that to this day. But another huge part to our mission statement is human services and education, educating the general community on heritage, culture, arts. That's where Holiday Folk Fair came into play. And this is the 82nd Holiday Folk Fair. So we're real excited about that. And this year's theme is celebrate the culture of traditional music. And because whenever you have dance and song, and you have music along with it, song is music. And of course, I actually say that the desserts are like music to your taste buds.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, every angle of that event as well, too. And I think that what's kind of neat is that first there's like a naturalization ceremony in the very first start of it. Could you explain a little bit about that?
Well, most of the time, it depends on the government uh, processing enough to actually go forward. We have a naturalization service on Fridays, typically at 2 o'clock, and the candidates have been preparing, and it's not the end, it's the beginning. They have a new start of being a citizen and all the responsibilities that we're all aware of that go along with that. And so I think the year before was 200, or the 2 years ago was 200. Last year, I think it was like 300. I don't know how many are going to be this year. It depends on processing. But it's usually a really good time. And International Institute of Wisconsin, we usually have somebody participating at that time. And but it's not just our clients; it's candidates from all over and all walks. So it's a beautiful time. Family, friends come, standing room only sometimes. It's just absolutely a beautiful time, a new beginning.
You talked about human services. What other human services do you have to offer at the Institute?
Well, I'll start with the legal services. We're always looking to see what else can we do for our clients. And so not only do we do the immigration portion of legal, helping them with their employment, and we're also looking to see what the needs are of the community of those that are underserved, for them to have basic legal needs taken care of. We also have employment services as well through some of our contracts that we have with the state and federal agencies, and they help with employment and employability. It's a wonderful way to connect the community, the business community, with International Institute of Wisconsin, and then we help those who are seeking jobs find them. So it's about job placement in general, but there's a lot that goes along with that, the training, and we just try to fill the gaps there. And then, of course, there's other human services as well. We will also, through our contracts, help with information referral for health. We'll help with appointments and helping our clients navigate all the different services that are available to them, and then initially help them get to their appointments and show them how to be self-sufficient. So overall, we're in the business of helping those newcomers become self-sufficient and contributing members, and they do that like right out of the box, right away. And so the human services part and the education is wonderful, and that's the last piece I'd like to actually talk about. We have good ties with the universities and the K-12, and it's wonderful to deal with the universities and help students who are trying to learn how to do business, how to do social services and medical, and they come and do internships, and some of them actually continue on, graduate, and then work for the institute. So it's a great place to find your calling in education, and International Institute of Wisconsin, it loves to be an integral part of that to help those students and faculty connect and get engaged with the community with real world acts, not just book learning.
Maybe that's my next question. Where does it, so does it just serve the Milwaukee area or outlying areas of,
Well, that's a great question. One of the things that we also do is we participate in a program called International Visitors Leadership Program, this hosted by the Department of State, in DC. They help us put together programs where leadership from all over the world come to Milwaukee to discuss emerging issues or challenges that we all share. And the reason why they come to Milwaukee is there's so many things that we do in Milwaukee: manufacturing, health services. We have the University of Wisconsin basic research in Madison, and then in Milwaukee, it's an urban research, basic one research, and they're very well known for freshwater studies. So we'll have programs where world leaders will come, emerging leaders will come to discuss, let's say, for example, freshwater studies, or women in healthcare, or indigenous folks in education. And we'll discuss education issues because there's a myriad of those issues that we have to solve to keep our children and our faculty engaged and focused. And so lots of needs get addressed right here in Milwaukee at the international stage. So,
if those haven't been to the Holiday Folk Fair, what is it?
well, Holiday Folk Fair is a collection of various ethnic groups, and they perform song and dance. They also have cultural booths where they have um, history of their culture and heritage and practices, sometimes even demonstrations of their artwork. And then there's also merchant booths that are associated with those various cultures as well, where you can purchase those wares. And this is a great time for shopping for the holidays. But that's just one part of it. Then there's the food. The cultures also use this time to help them generate revenue for their various groups, most of the time through the food sales. And the food is authentic. I always mention the desserts, but the main meals are absolutely wonderful. It goes great with the desserts. And of course, when you're walking around, you got to burn out the calories. But in order to burn off calories, you need them. So might as well partake in that. But there are other demonstrations, and of course the main stage, where the groups perform in their traditional dress, and you hear the traditional music either through tape or with actual instruments. We have a professional group coming from Poland. We have a professional group coming from Utah, and we're connected through Holiday Folk Fair to the folk festivals organization, COF, throughout the world. And so we're an extension of that right here. And so there's a group does exchanges, and that's how we found this professional group in Poland that's coming. Last we had the Czechs, and we're going to continue to look at how we can keep those connections going. It's a great place to understand culture and heritage.
Now, isn't there like a couple other stages? There's one at the main stage, and then I think there's two side ones, maybe.
There's a cafe house and a Tanz house. They're minor stages, but they do have some really good performers. Some of the main performers will have a smaller performance there too as well. I really do think that, uh, like you said, going all 3 days is very useful because there's so much to see. And sometimes you'll say, you know what, I want to see that group again. You might see on the schedule they'll be playing again, so you coordinate your time with that. So just keep your eye on the schedule and see what's going on there. It's always movement, the colors of the traditional dress, and the food, the traditional food, and then the traditional music. There's always something going on, and always something to discover new. Now, we always also try to keep the venue similar from year to year, so you have good wayfinding. But I think that actually helps people to go through and say, is there something different in this culture booth? Have they progressed? What are they going to demonstrate this year? So there's like subtle differences. And then, of course, the main differences usually are when we bring in different groups and different demonstrators. But familiarity is always a nice thing. It's very friendly. Great place to revisit family memories you made there before and make new ones.
And you said there's also like exhibits where there's like demonstrations. I think the International Institute of Wisconsin even has a booth out there too. Is that correct? I
Yeah,
thought
we actually show off our services that we do. The cultural booth is called Heritage Lane.
Heritage.
That's typically where you'll see all the different cultures display their historical artifacts, and then they'll either have completed items, artwork, or they'll have artwork in progress. This year in particular, I know one, my daughter is coming from Alaska, and we're from the Tlingit Nation, Native Alaskans, and she's going to be demonstrating weaving and various other art forms. So she's becoming our cultural guardian, so to speak. And you can ask her about the language. She actually speaks better Tlingit than I do now. So
Wow.
I'm so proud of her. And we have other um, uh, events out there, and also other cultural booths that are long-standing that really show progress. And I think that we also have things for the children as well. We have a chess tournament. There's a big chess piece out there for people to engage in. I believe we typically have a woodworking demonstrations going on. And then there's the food demonstration as well, that usually goes on. So those have like little subtle differences of like, what are they doing this year? And I think that's real wonderful there. What I like doing is grabbing a quick cookie and then walking around,
Yeah, right.
seeing what I
Right.
can see.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you even dress up in the Clink outfit, correct? Is that correct?
Yes, I use my regalia, my traditional dress. During the formal stage presentations, I'll have my traditional blanket, and then while I'm walking around, I'll have my vest and my headdress. You'll actually see it in the cultural booth that my daughter's in as well. And it 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 is so similar to what goes on in Europe. When you look at the intricate patterns of the sewing and the colors and the patterns that they have in their traditional dress, there's meaning behind all that. All you have to do is walk up and say, what is the special meaning of this traditional dress? And they love to talk about it because it's so rich, and we can all learn from it. And also find out that, hey, I have something similar too. And then here's my differences. Let's celebrate those together. So that's what I think is real exciting.
I don't know if we talked about when they also have the display of the houses or how they live in. It's kind of in that center area. What is that one called?
Well, that's part of the Heritage Lane.
Heritage. That's right.
Yeah, and they'll have like interiors or artwork or historical photos. And there's, even though we have a lot of familiar faces, familiar cultures that come, it's wonderful to see the new and the old mixed together. Or sometimes they'll find an artifact they didn't have last year. A new member will come, somebody moves in the area and say, "Oh, I'm part of this group, and here's my grandmother's XYZ, and let's display this and talk about it." And so it's a great place to discover yourself. That's one of the things that I always find fascinating. Even though I've been participating as a board member for over 12 years and now the president for 2 years, every time I would come, I would discover something new about myself. Like, I have that same value, that same practice. We do things naturally. All of us do things naturally that are taught by our grandmothers and our grandfathers. And those behaviors, those practices, even though they're natural and we just do them automatically, just think if we were to focus on them and start doing them deliberately, how much more pleasant of an environment we would have around us in our communities if we search for those positive things that we do naturally.
I know there's like you were talking history. I think you even have some old photographs of board members of the folk fair along the way. Is that correct?
Yeah, we do have a wall of honor
Oh,
for people that have been participating a long time, and we always have some inductees for that. So that's always nice to see too, like whose photo is going to be up there this year, and a little bio, and usually it's a long standing, like 30, 50 years, and there'll be pictures from way back when as well to show off those members that have been inducted. And that's really nice. Also, some of the images we have for the food as well, some of the traditional foods and recipes, and that's always neat to take a note of those and try to do it at home. I don't do it justice, but at least I try, and it's something fun. And then it made me enhance what I do naturally myself, with the salmon and rice dishes that I do for my culture. So
and the theme again this year?
the theme this year is celebrate the culture of traditional music.
All right, and there's gonna be a lot of it, so,
Yeah.
well, let's talk about for more information, where should they go to learn a little bit more? I think even the schedule's on the website. Let's hear what the website is.
Well, folkfair.org will have the schedule and the dates and times. You'll be able to get your tickets there. You'll also be able to see past folk fairs as well there. And that's a great place to go. You can also go to International Institute of Wisconsin, iiwisconsin.org, and see more about us. And if you would choose to participate there to donate to the human services there, that's always welcome. And right now, we need to help out each other as much as possible. But I do think just coming, sometimes you don't have the means, but just participating at Holiday Folk Fair makes a difference, because we need to tell each other that we're still here, each of our cultures, and we're important, and we're richer for it. This country is very rich, with all the different cultures and practices and heritage, and the similarities are just astounding when you take a look at it. It's like, wow, we're more similar than different, So
The dates for the folk fair again? Or
the November 21st through the 23rd, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It starts at 9 on Friday with the education day. Oh, we need to talk about that. The education day, where schools come and we have classes of K-12 come in. And we had a real large participation last year. I'm expecting as much or more this year with the schools. And then the naturalization services right after that, usually around 2. And then the opening ceremonies right around supper time. And then, of course, the big day, Saturday. That's usually the long one. But the hours are posted on folkfair.org. And parking is very reasonable. And it's easy to get to. State Fairgrounds, the Exposition Center and State Fairgrounds. And so a lot of people are familiar with it because we've been there quite a while now. But it's always good to look ahead, take a look at the traffic. I understand there's a lot of construction going on now too, so on the
yeah,
freeway.
yeah.
So give yourself some time, be safe, come prepared to eat.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think maybe that's why I spread it out over 3 days, so I don't
Yeah.
put myself out on one. But yeah, I agree with you more. It's just, in my opinion, the best event in the state of Wisconsin, definitely in Milwaukee. The Holiday Folk Fair, again, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, November 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Paul Trebian from President and CEO of International Institute of Wisconsin. Thank you so much for talking with us today. It's going to be a great event. Thanks so much for talking with us today.
Thank you.